I hope that after today's city council meeting, you will pack your suitcase and get the hell out of my city. You are a pandemic.
I just hope that whoever gets in there does a great job, because Lori Lightfoot is the kind of mayor that makes you feel like you can't do no worse. Welcome to Brutally Honest Talk Radio. This is Elmo the Conservative, and I just had to chime in a little bit on Lori Lightfoot, Sugarfoot, former mayor of Chicago, who recently lost. She was a disaster, and I'm glad she's gone. Like this video, share this video. We are available on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, and we encourage people to follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group and Twitter. So, Lori Lightfoot, the former mayor of Chicago, maybe the worst mayor that Chicago has ever had. She's gone, and I'm glad. I'm going to go over a few things that happened when she was in office, but the two main things that I didn't like is during the pandemic and during the riots, Lightfoot saying no to Donald Trump offering to send in the National Guard. There was rioting going on. And we know about what happened with the Magnificent Mile and tens of millions of dollars in damage done. But that was just a temporary thing. An ongoing thing is an average of 100 murders a month, including gang violence and all other kinds of violence. And Donald Trump offering to send in the National Guard to restore order, because that's what you need to do when a city is out of control. If the governor is not going to declare martial law, you got to go in and get it under control. An average of 100 murders a month. So Trump offered to do that, and she said no because of believing this hate Trump syndrome, Trumpism, that he's evil. He is the devil incarnate. And the man offered to help. He offered to send in the National Guard because you obviously need help. The police department needs help. She said, no, I don't want Trump's troopers coming in here targeting black people. So for one thing, the National Guard does not report to the president directly. They have rank, right? The National Guard is like the fifth branch of the military. So they have rank just like in the Army, the Navy, and so on. So they would give them their orders. Another thing is the National Guard is diverse. So it's many different races of people. I don't see them coming in and targeting black people. And then Nancy Pelosi, she didn't make it any better with her comments. If the National Guard came in, they would be kidnapping people, throwing them in the trunks of cars, and we would never see them again. Let me read some of this article, right? So, Mayor Lori Lightfoot of Chicago lost her bid for a second term on Tuesday, a resounding defeat that reflected widespread dissatisfaction from voters over her handling of crime and policing in the nation's third largest city. 4 years ago, Lightfoot made history as the first black woman to be elected mayor of Chicago when she swept all 50 of the city's wards. Let me say this right now before I forget, because the reason that Lightfoot got elected is because she's black, a woman, and a lesbian. Now, with that said, if somebody who is a mayor, governor, president, whoever they are, chief of police, but they do a great job, I don't care about sexuality or gender or none of that. And, you know, she's openly gay, obviously a woman and obviously black, and a Democrat. And Democrats use identity politics to sell themselves and to promote things. So anybody, you can go in the comments now, tell me any other reason why she got elected. And this is what happens, just like on the president's cabinet with Buttigieg, right? And the derailment situation in Ohio. He got his position because he's gay. Because Biden said, I want a cabinet that looks like America. So he's picking and pulling different people. That's why Kamala Harris got picked. Why else? It's just many other people that could have been better running mate. Anyway, not to get away or get off the subject. I'm just mentioning that identity politics. That was why she got married, and this is what happens when you elect somebody because of their sexuality or their appearance. And just on that alone, just on that alone. Okay, so to continue, she saw her popularity plunge during the coronavirus pandemic as Chicago suffered a spike in violent crime with looting and destruction on its famed Magnificent Mile. The two candidates to emerge from Tuesday's first round of voting and advance to an April 4 runoff, according to Associated Press, were Paul Vallas, a former public school executive, and Brandon Johnson, a county board commissioner. Now, Lightfoot said that she lost the election because of racism. I think that Chicago is primarily a chocolate city, majority black. I mean, that's all she could say. That's all the Democrats can do. That's all they can say. Donald Trump called Kamala Harris incompetent. Kamala Harris is clapped back racist. That's all you know how to do. That's all you know how to say. Instead of knowing how to run a city, the chief of police directly reports to the mayor. And the sergeants and the police department report to the chief of police. Lori Lightfoot said that if you witness two people in a shootout and they're both shooting at each other, don't call the police because we call that mutual combat. So you have to see the police, you have to see a criminal shooting at an unarmed person or hurting someone that doesn't have anything to shoot back with. Good luck. Then call the police. Maybe by the time the police get there, the person will still be alive, even though they don't have anything to shoot back with. So that was one thing. And she did this mutual combat thing because she's incompetent and doesn't know what to do and didn't have crime under control. So yeah, those are the two things for me, the mutual combat thing and just refusing help from the National Guard. And then another thing, I'm going to play a video of this reporter who was confronting Lightfoot. Listen to this.
Mayor Lightfoot, you and I may have gotten off on the wrong foot.
No pun intended.
Reporter, WilliamJKelly.com. I'm a veteran reporter in the city of Chicago, Emmy Award-winning TV host, radio, print journalism. I should be sitting over there with my colleagues, but I'm standing over here because on a weekly basis I was going viral asking you obvious questions. And instead of answering them, you told me that crime was down, my videos went viral, millions of views, comments, likes, and shares, and it was hurting your re-election campaign. So you revoked my media credential. That should never happen in a free country. And I'm asking the city council to take the media credential process away from the next mayor of Chicago and the next superintendent of police and put it in the hands of the Constitution. What you've done to the city of Chicago, I feel like this is more of a victim impact statement than an actual public comment. What you've done to me is nothing compared to what you've done to my city, the city of Chicago, the city that I was born and raised in, the city that I love with all my heart. You became mayor. The people of Chicago elected you. You shut down our schools. You shut down the churches. You shut down the businesses. You did the one thing that I thought could never happen. As somebody who was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, I never thought in my life that I would ever see the city of Chicago brought down so low as you have managed to bring it down. Shame on you. That is a legacy that you are going to have to carry. Future historians are going to have a hard time understanding how how you ever even became mayor of the city of Chicago. I intend to write that book. I intend to make sure that at least there is some possible way for the city of Chicago to move forward. I hope that you realize what damage you have done to the city. I hope that after today's city council meeting, you will pack your suitcase and get the hell out of my city.
Mr. Kelly,
You are a pandemic. You are a pandemic.
Okay. All right. And then, so I agree with what he's saying. And then to wrap this up, Lori Lightfoot said that the reason that she lost the election was because of racism. So she came in third place running for mayor. And there's going to be a runoff in April for this. I just want to say there was a Republican and Democrat running against each other. Paul Vallis is white. Brandon Johnson is black. So they have to have a runoff because nobody knows yet, between the two of them. It's usually just one person. One of them got the most votes, but it's very close between the two of them. So this isn't about race. This isn't about race. So there's a black man who beat her, and maybe he'll win the runoff. I really don't care. I just hope that whoever gets in there does a great job, because Lori Lightfoot is the kind of mayor that makes you feel like you can't do no worse. Thanks for checking out Brutally Honest Talk Radio. We've been working on a lot of stuff, so been absent for a while, but we're going to get back into it. We're just working hard and doing some other journalist type stuff. So please stay connected to us, stay subscribed, and we'll be back. God bless you.